You ain't bout it, you ain't bout it, you ain't kick on the mic. You ain't bout it, you ain't bout it, you ain't kick on the mic. You can go and subscribe, cause I be on it right. You ain't bout it, you ain't bout it, you ain't kick on the mic.
Ryan Poles just revealed what the Chicago Bears will likely do with the number 9 overall pick in the 2024 NFL Draft. Hey, what's going on, Bears fans? Thank you so much for joining me for another episode of Keek on the Mic, the podcast all about the Chicago Bears. As always, if you're new to the channel, make sure you hit that subscribe button and the notification to catch all Bears content right here on the podcast. So, Bears fans, we are another day closer to the 2024 NFL Draft, and I just cannot wait to see what Ryan Poles and the Chicago Bears do with pick number 1 and pick number 9. As we all know, the Chicago Bears, the likelihood is that it will be Caleb Williams with the number 1 overall pick in the 2024 NFL Draft, but there are still a lot of questions on what Ryan Poles and the Bears will do with pick number 9 in the 2024 NFL Draft. Ryan Poles actually got a chance to sit down with Kevin Fishbain of The Athletic about his thoughts on the number 9 overall pick. And as we all know, the Chicago Bears only have 4 total picks in the 2024 NFL Draft, and Ryan Poles is very aware of that. But he had some really unique and intriguing insight on where the Bears actually sit with the number 9 overall pick. And to me, this is absolutely fascinating what he had to say to Kevin Fishbain. Ryan Poles said this, Bears fans. He said, "I like the numbers," Poles said. "I talked about it when I first got here, but we have different tiers on our draft board. I like the numbers in terms of the talented players that can get to 9. If we don't move at all, I think that's 25 picks in 3 years, which is over 8 per year in some change," he said. "I like where we are at there, on top of being set up next year to have a pretty good setup as well. I think it matches the draft. I think a lot of the guys went back to school this year. I think you're going to see a significant drop-off. Hopefully some guys squeak through, but the way we're set up in the draft this year actually pairs up really well with how I think it's going to play out." Bears fans, this is absolutely amazing thought process by general manager Ryan Poles, and he obviously seems focused on more quality over quantity this year. As we all know, the Chicago Bears only have 4 draft picks in the 2024 NFL Draft, but it seems that Ryan Poles doesn't seem too concerned because of the likelihood of the players that could possibly be available with the number 9 overall pick in the 2024 NFL Draft. For example, maybe Rome Odunze, Malik Neighbors, Joe Alt, Jared Verse, Dallas Turner could all be there for the taking for the Chicago Bears when they actually pick with the number 9 overall pick in the 2024 NFL Draft. So it seems like the thought process that Ryan Poles actually has going into this is to take the best players available. And the reason is, he said it firsthand in his interview with Kevin Fishbain, is that in 3 years, the Chicago Bears have compiled 25 draft picks. When you look at a normal NFL franchise, usually you get 7 picks per year, 1 for each round. So that would make what? 21 picks in 3 years. When you look at the Chicago Bears situation and how GM Ryan Poles has compiled many draft picks over his 3 years for the Chicago Bears, in 3 years, they have picked 25 players. And for the most part, he has done a really good job at drafting for the Chicago Bears, bringing in guys that have been impact players for the organization, guys that they can really develop into future stars in the National Football League. So when you look at Ryan Poles' position, he is not really concerned about the lack of draft capital this year because he understands that he has the possibility to get the best player available at 9. Some guys that may slip, once again, Rome Odunze, Malik Neighbors, Joe Alt, Dallas Turner, Jared Verse, would all be outstanding picks for the Chicago Bears at number 9 overall. Not only that, you have to look at Ryan Poles and the Chicago Bears situation going into the 2025 NFL Draft. Next year, the Chicago Bears will have, 9 or 10 draft picks? So he's also considering the future as well for the Chicago Bears. So for the most part, I think Ryan Poles is thinking about just taking the best players available for the Chicago Bears. If that means we land Caleb Williams at 1 and Rome Odunze or Malik Neighbors or Joe Alt, Dallas Turner or Jared Verse at 9, I think Ryan Poles and the Chicago Bears and most of the Chicago Bears fan base would be really pleased with that scenario. And don't get me wrong, Bears fans, Ryan Poles has been very open and honest about discussing that the Bears could obviously trade back as well and get a massive amount of draft capital for the number 9 overall pick. And obviously he's going over the different avenues that can actually happen with the number 9 overall pick. But at the same time, Ryan Poles also seems really content at just staying put and taking the best player available. And to me, sometimes that is the best option. Sometimes trading back doesn't always work out, right? Sometimes you trade back and you end up not getting the guy that you actually want. Once again, if the player that he wants is there and he made it very clear that he feels that the draft will fall the Bears' way, where they will land a guy possibly like Rome Odunze, Malik Neighbors, Joe Alt, Dallas Turner, or Jared Verse, then he probably will just stay put and get really lucky to land a guy like Rome Odunze, right? So to me personally, I think it's a masterful idea for Ryan Poles. Obviously, there's no guarantee of what they're actually going to do with the number 9 overall pick, but I just really love the thinking and the mindset that Ryan Poles is going into this draft with. And to me personally, either direction Ryan Poles and the Bears go in the 2024 NFL draft in regard to the number 9 overall pick, I think the Chicago Bears are going to be in a really, really good situation. And we're either going to land a really good football player to come help us win now, or we're going to be able to trade down from number 9 overall and get a lot of draft capital to add some more talented players within this draft. But overall, it seems like Ryan Poles is not really too concerned about it. I think he's just more focused on adding the best players possible for the Chicago Bears. So overall, Bears fans, I know we've talked so much about what we think the Chicago Bears will do with the number 9 overall pick in the 2024 NFL draft. But Bears fans, I am just really happy that we have Ryan Poles as a general manager. This guy has put the Chicago Bears in a really good situation, and I'm just really excited to see his vision finally come to life. Obviously, we're about to land obviously one of the best quarterback prospects we have seen in a long time in Caleb Williams. And obviously at number 9, we will have the opportunity to get another really good player. So Ryan Poles is a mastermind. I am so excited to see what happens in the 2024 NFL draft. But once again, Bears fans, before I let you guys go, let me ask you guys this. Do you guys like the way that Ryan Poles is thinking in regard to the number 9 overall pick? Let me know down below in the comment section. But as always, make sure you continue to hit that subscribe button and the notification to catch all Bears content right here on the podcast. Make sure you follow me on all my social media platforms, and make sure you share this episode of Geek on the Mic with every single Bears fan that you know. But other than that, be back for our all new Bears podcast right here on Geek on the Mic. Thanks, guys, and as always, bear down.
You've been listening to Geek on the Mic, a podcast all about the Chicago Bears. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel and hit the bell notification to catch all Bears content right here on the podcast. Thanks, guys, and bear down.